Hello everybody, in this video we're going to be discussing how you can use flexible F2L cases to your advantage. So if you don't know what a flexible F2L case is, it's basically an F2L case that has more than one solution, okay? Now pretty much every case will have more than one solution, okay? This here, for example, can be solved like this. Or it could be solved like this. So as you see there, that case has more than one solution, and if you do the right solution, it can surprisingly be very helpful in the rest of your solve. The first way that a flexible F2L pair can be helpful is some of them can be solved at different angles, meaning if you rotate the cube 90 degrees, it can also be solved at that angle, okay? So for this one here, for example, it can be solved like this. Or instead, you could rotate and solve the case I showed you earlier, either one of those from the back. So for cases where you can solve from more than one angle, you can use that to your advantage where you can put your solved slots in the back. And I have a video on this here, okay, and you can check out that video for more information about this. But what I will say is, if you are solving the case and doing it without a rotation would result in these two in the front, that's not very good. It's better to rotate, and that way you have one of them in the back and you have one of the unsolved slots in the front. Or if when you rotate, both your back slots become solved, then you should do it that way. That way you can maximize the back slots that are solved. And this will maximize your look-ahead abilities. Another way that this can be used is it can help influence your OLL, okay? So for this case, for example, we could do it like this and insert it, and we get a pretty good OLL. And then we could also rotate it and do it like this. And this is a decent OLL, but the other one, in my opinion, is a little bit better, okay? So what you can do is you can control it like that, and if it forms one of these here, like this, you can see if you can force it to give you a good VLS case, meaning you would insert it whilst doing your OLL. And if you can do that, then you can pretty much skip OLL very easily more often. Because a lot of the VLS cases are you inserting it and then doing the OLL, but what you can do instead is you can force a really good VLS case that has a very low move count and can pretty much make you skip OLL using a relatively similar move count. But if it's like this, another thing that you could also keep in mind is that if you use edge control, you could try to force it so that you can get all your edges on the top solved. So we have this case here, for example, right here, and if we grab it like this, we get a relatively bad OLL. But instead we could do it like this. Take this out, and then we can actually use an edge control algorithm that will it'll solve the EO for us. So now we have a cross OLL, which is much better, and this will also give you an opportunity to do COLL for certain cases. Another way you can use flexible F2L cases to your advantage is this thing called multi-slotting, okay? So what multi-slotting is where you're solving one of your cases, but you're also doing part of your next case. So, for example, pairing the pieces up to be inserted, okay? So we have this case right here, okay? And if I insert it like this, we get a decent case here. But if we rotate, and we'll rotate like this to keep the other case in the front, we could do it like this. And then what that does is it pairs this F2L case up like this, which is much better. So those are some ways that you can use flexible F2L cases to your advantage, okay? Now, when you do an F2L case rotationless and the edge can't go in properly, sometimes it's hard to determine whether it's better to cube rotate or to just do it normally, okay? Well, I'm going to be making a video on this topic, and I'll put a link in the description to that once it's out. So, it probably won't be out for another week or maybe even 2 weeks, so just wait on that, and as soon as it's available, I will put it in the description, and I will make it as soon as I can, but I may not be able to get to it right away. So thank you guys for watching. Hope this was helpful. Check out those other videos that I have on this that may help you, and hopefully you can use this to give you much better F2L cases. So thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys on my next video.